Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I am just so excited for this episode of Splat from the Past. It's a big show, special show. I am interviewing Frau Farbissina from the Austin Powers franchise, Mindy Sterling. Yes, send in the gods! She is coming on the show today to talk about her career. She started out at the Groundlings, and you know how much I'm obsessed with the Groundlings. She was also in such classic movies as Euphoria, House, and she's been in a lot of TV shows. She had a recurring role in Desperate Housewives. She was on that Comic-Con show, Con Man, a few years ago, and so many others. Going to have her on the show today to talk about all that stuff, and I can't wait. So, here is my interview with Mindy Sterling. Hey, Mindy.
Hey, Tommy, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, it's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, wow, to just sit in my bed with my animals and talk to you on the phone and have it recorded. How perfect.
Yeah. What kind of animals you got?
I have a dog and a cat, and they don't like each other. But they like me, so, yes. So I've got, my dog is at my feet, my cat is on my tummy, and it all works out perfectly.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I just have a cat right now, and she's in the living room with my mom because she just makes a lot of noise when she's in my room.
Oh, just like meows and wants to be petted and...
Yeah, she just, gets into anything, that I have,
right.
And she hangs out on the windowsill and all that stuff.
Oh, I love kitties.
Yeah, I love them too.
What's its name?
Her name, her given name before we adopted her was Laverne, but we call her Cinnamon.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Does she answer to both, or Cinnamon is her name now?
We just strictly call her Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, okay, great.
Yeah, and not a sarcasm, I call her Raccoony sometimes because she's got a raccoon tail.
Oh, how interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a stripy tail, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh.
Yeah, but so going back in time, your father, of course, was Dick Sterling, who played Mr. Fry on the Jackie Gleason show.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And your mother was a dancer. Did both of your parents instill in you a love for performing early on?
I don't know if they instilled it in me. I think I was really shy, and I found that, oh, wow, so I could be a character, or I could act and pretend that I'm somebody different. And that kind of gave me, a feeling of comfort and safe. And so I got involved in theater in elementary school and took a theater class. And I think the first play that I ever did was The Mikado in the 6th grade, which is, pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
And, and then from there I just loved it. But, my dad and my mother were divorced when I was really, really young, so I didn't, he wasn't there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mother danced, and she also had like a full-time job for a while, and then she ended up quitting it. But who knows? I don't know if it was in my blood or whatever. But they were always incredibly supportive.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they were both incredibly funny.
My dad was. Yeah, my mom wasn't funny. She was just sweet. But she had a lot of, I have a lot of her personality. She was, kind of fun and friendly and outgoing and boisterous. So, yeah.
Nice. You're originally from New Jersey?
I was born there, but I was raised in Miami.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very challenging weather, I've heard.
Oh, Miami? Yeah, just it's muggy and humid, and yeah, you live in air conditioning.
Yeah.
So that's the bad thing.
I know one of my best friend's families live there. He visits at least once a year, and the weather there is just horrendous.
It's hard. Yeah, it really is. It's just it isn't. Boy, when it's hot, it's because of humidity. It's drier out here in LA, so it's a different type of temperature. But I mean, in LA, you don't have to have air conditioning all the time. There is a breeze. I live in Santa Monica, so I'm really lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets warm here. It gets hot here. But the humidity and you would just sweat. You were just always like wet, or your hair would curl, or there was always that. You get off the plane and you're like, I'm in Miami.
Yeah, I live over here in Redding, California, where in the wintertime it is just freezing cold, and in the summertime it is hot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, that can be pretty bad in and of itself,
Oh, yeah.
So after high school, did you study theater in college?
I just went to a 2-year junior college. Everybody was, making plans to go to college, and I didn't really want to. I didn't feel, I just wanted to take acting. And my parents were so supportive, and I just went to a 2-year college and took acting courses, and that was it. I only did that because everybody else was doing something. And I thought, I guess I'll do that too.
Yeah. Even back in the early days of theater, were you playing the quirky friend of the lead or the over-the-top villain?
Never a villain, no. I'm a character actress, so I wasn't, I was always doing the character roles. I did, a lot of musicals, like community theater, and, but yeah, so I did just a lot of that, but I think, even starting to work on TV and film, you're just, you're the character, and, the host is played by Mindy Sterling, that kind of thing.
Yeah. What year did you move to LA?
Well, I guess it was probably mid-70s, late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it one struggle after another to get acting work?
Well, I mean, it still is a struggle. I mean, it's not a struggle, but it's always hard, and I had to have a regular job. Mm-hmm. So I worked in an insurance company, and then I worked with a media buying service. So I had full-time jobs, and then I would take classes or do community theater.
Mm-hmm.
So my foot was always involved in theater.
A lot of auditions.
Yeah, still are. Not a lot. I never have a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, still do it.
How did improv come into your psyche?
I don't know. I was looking at like Dramalog at the time. It was called Dramalog. Now it's called Backstage West. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to see an ad for, it was at the LA Connection at the time. Mm-hmm. And I saw that and just kind of went and fell in love with the art of improv, where it's so freeing and you can do it, you make it up as you go along, you create these characters, you don't have to memorize anything, and I thought that was just really magical.
Yeah, I heard LA Connection is a tough company to get into.
Well, it wasn't then, and I met a lot of amazing people that then turned me on to the Groundlings. Mm-hmm. I think they were kind of doing both. And, yeah, it just wasn't, I knew I had to move on.
Yeah, was there anybody there that went on to become super successful?
At the LA Connection?
Yeah.
not that I know of that I was with.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't come to mind.
Yeah, not in your class.
No.
So you get to the Groundlings. What year is this?
Oh my gosh. What year was that? I guess it was in the the Groundlings was in the mid-'80s, I think.
Mm-hmm. Who was there at that time?
Well, when I came to see them and saw, who I was watching were people like Phil Hartman.
Yep.
And George McGrath and
Lynn Stewart.
And oh God, what's her name? I'm drawing a complete blank. She's from Minnesota. Edie McClurg.
Edie McClurg, yeah. Yeah. Was Bridget Sienna there?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've interviewed her. Sweet lady.
Yes, very sweet.
And Wendy Goldman.
Wendy, I don't know where she was. I mean, because I was friends with Wendy and Judy.
Judy Toll.
And I did their show. They wrote a show, Casual Sex.
Yep.
That they did there, and I was in that. So they were. Judy was before me, and Wendy, yeah.
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy was with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we came up from the Sunday Company to the Groundlings together, Kathy and I.
John Lovitz.
Yep, John was there too.
Casey Sander.
Yes. Well, Casey was. I think he was after me.
Wow. God, that was just the golden era of the Groundlings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was Cynthia Seghetti one of your teachers?
She was. I don't think. No, she was a teacher, but it was outside of the Groundlings. I think we did. Oh no! Wait a minute. Was she? No, I think she was the teacher there, and then we became really good friends. And she, in fact, when I couldn't, I was fired from my day job. She was the one that told me, "Oh, you can teach." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh my God, no, I can't. No, I couldn't do." "Yes, you can. You can teach." So she encouraged me to do that, and I went, and then I was trained to teach with Steve Hibbert, and I got through, and then became a teacher. So she was a huge part of my life. She was like a mentor.
Yeah, she believed in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, I'm friends with Terry Bolo and Gloria Vassie, and they've told me just how funny she was off stage, too. Terry told me, she stayed in, 3 different hospices during the last year of her life because her Italian attitude just intimidated everybody.
Yeah, no, definitely. She was tough.
Yeah.
She was tough and wasn't going to, break down, and... But I adored that lady to death. She was amazing.
Yeah, she wasn't going to suffer fools gladly.
Not at all. You got it. Yeah.
So while you're at the Groundlings, do you think, why didn't I do this sooner? I can actually have a future in this?
Did I think I should have done it sooner?
Yeah.
No. Because I wasn't, I think it all worked out, when I came out here and got involved in what I needed to get involved in. So I think, and I was young enough when I first started in there. So it kind of all worked out. But no, I never thought that I should have done it sooner.
You think it came at the right time then?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of characters did you have?
Oh my gosh. Just, a lot of, women, I don't even know. A lot of, some women that were incredibly scared of life and insecure and, then big ballsy women and, you're always trying something different, something new.
Yeah. Did any of those characters become hybrids of characters you would play in movies and TV?
Probably. I mean, there's always little bits and pieces that you take from them, and and create whatever needs to be created. So I think that's the training of the groundlings, is you're not afraid to pull from one or the other, or you feel secure with it because it comes easy to you, or you know how to reach for a character. So that was a great lesson and training that I definitely got from there.
Did you ever audition for Saturday Night Live?
No, I did not. They never wanted me.
A friend of mine who I started out with in stand-up comedy in San Francisco, he auditioned about 4 years ago. He said it was tough.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been the right candidate for it. I think that I think living in New York would have just been a little daunting for me. I think I'm not a writer. Like, I don't write a lot. And I think I would have been eaten alive. So it wasn't good for me.
Yeah. Did you ever have a desire to try stand-up comedy?
No.
No.
No, I did not. No, I like working with people. I like, the art of yes-anding and playing off of people and making it more of a team. So no, I never really felt that I would have been a good stand-up.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. It's very specific. I mean, there's some people who can do both stand-up and improv, and they're just incredible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a rare gift. Cynthia did stand-up.
Oh, she did, huh?
Yeah, her name is on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Well, that I know. Yeah, well, that's true. I guess she would be. Well, but she also told me she did improv.
Yeah, she did. She was part of the Comedy Store Players as well.
Yes, exactly.
But she also did stand-up, from what I've been told, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's get into some movies and TV roles. The other night, I was watching this movie on YouTube that I hadn't seen in a long time. You had a non-speaking role in it. It was called Euphoria.
Oh my God, I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
You had a non-speaking role?
Yeah, Harry Dean Stanton is a televangelist. And
what did I do in it?
You were part of this gospel choir group or something.
So it was like an extra?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Unless I did have a speaking role and they took it away. I don't even remember that. How funny.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you had this big old head of brown hair and stuff. I could see you.
God, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. I was reading, too, the movie was shot in 1980, but it didn't come out on video until 87, and because it didn't get released in the theaters because the studio couldn't figure out how to market a quirky movie like that.
Oh, how weird. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Funny.
But probably my earliest memory of you was when you were the nerdy bookstore fan in House.
Oh, yeah, yes. I think that was my first film out here, my second. I think the first thing I did was, oh, God, what was that called? It was with Bill Cosby. Oh, The Devil and Max Devlin.
Right.
That was the first thing I ever did, and then House was the second, yeah.
Yeah, you're like way in the back of the line with that blonde stringy hair and glasses, and you're shouting questions at William Catt.
Yes, that's it.
It's funny because in 2018 you were signing autographs at Monsterpalooza in Pasadena, and I was going to go that weekend, but then I couldn't at last minute, and I was really sad because I was going to have you sign my House poster.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Funny.
But I went last year, and I had Kane Hodder sign it, so...
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. And I've met William Catt and George Wendt, two very nice guys.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't sign my poster because I didn't have it then, but someday. Right. Someday I'll get all of you.
Oh, that's nice.
Do you remember this pilot you did with George Carlin called Working Trash?
Yes, it wasn't a pilot. It was, I think it was like a TV movie or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pilot. Yeah, young Ben Stiller is in it.
Yeah.
And Buddy Ebsen, Jack Blessing, Michael J. Pollard, both passed away. Dan Castellaneta, that's a great cast. How was that experience?
It was great. It was like, like a big deal for me. It was like a bigger part than I usually, had done. And George Wallace was in it, who was very lovely. Yeah, no, it was, I had a nice little group of people to play off of and play with. So it was definitely an interesting experience.
Mm-hmm. Any good George Carlin memories?
No, I don't. I have a hard time remembering like little things here and there, and that was so long ago. Oh my God. No, I just remember. I think he was just really nice. I think I spent most of my time with George Wallace, who was a lovely, lovely, lovely man. But yeah, nothing from George Carlin, unfortunately.
You mean George Wallace, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So how does Frau Farbissna come into your life?
Well, I had met Mike Myers at the Groundlings. We were doing improv, and Julie Sweeney brought him to be a guest in one of our improv shows, and we just kind of played and met, and we just, really, really admired one another. And so he came back and we do several of them. And then he was going to do a show at the Groundlings. He was going to try out this character, Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me and I think a couple of other people if they would just, be a part of this sort of showcase, this workshop he's doing. And so I was a part of that, which was really lovely. I don't remember what I did. I can't say that I did Frau. I have no memory of that. But, just to be around his mind was pretty interesting and special.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the first Austin Powers came up, I had met Jay Roach. He had come to this to see what Mike was doing with this like little showcase thing. So I met Jay, and so I knew that they both liked me and were supportive. And I had to audition for Frau,
mm-hmm.
and I was nervous. And then I think at the audition at one point, Jay said, "Oh, here, why don't you just improvise this part?" It was like the Lucky Charms part or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and and that was it. And I had no idea if I was going to get it, if I wasn't going to get it. And you just don't know. You leave, and that's it. You hear when you hear, or you don't hear when you don't hear.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling they probably, I really needed them on my side because, New Line, they didn't know me. I was the only one that nobody knew.
Mm-hmm.
They knew Seth.
Yeah.
They knew of Seth. They knew of Robert Wagner, and it was just, I'm the new girl. So I'm so grateful that it all worked out.
Yeah. Did Mike Myers specifically tell you what he wanted with that character?
No. I mean, I've read stuff, what he, it was like, one of the characters in one of the Bond movies and stuff like that. But I never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to watch the character.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to recreate that. So luckily, I just did what I did, and it worked.
Yeah, because Dr. Evil, is based on a little bit of Lorne Michaels and a little bit of Donald Pleasance and You Only Live Twice, But was she based on anybody specifically from the Bond movies? Yeah,
I guess one of the women, I don't know if she was Russian or German, but there was one of the bad, the bad women.
Yeah.
In it. I can't remember her name, but like I said, I kept away from it. I didn't want to see it.
Yeah. Did you have any input in Frau looking different in the sequels?
No. I just did what they told me. Because, it was kind of my first, it was a big deal for me. So
yeah.
I think I just accepted everything and had fun with it.
Yeah, it's just so ironic because later, when you did Con Man, your appearance was always changing in that too.
Well, that one I definitely had a lot of input because I had said to Alan, like, oh my God, can I just wear a bunch of different wigs and different glasses? Because, there are women that, like, don't have good hair or, it's just that nobody ever brings it up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, sure.
Yeah. I love that shoulder length hair that Frauhausen Gold member. You looked so much like Lily Tomlin in that.
Oh, yeah. I get that a lot, that I resemble Lily Tomlin. It's a very nice compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I even heard people whisper it in the theater.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, I saw all three movies in the theater twice. I loved them so much I had to go see them again,
Ah, that's great.
Yeah, my parents especially loved it. By that point, they were both divorced, and so I would see it, one with my mom, one with my dad.
Right.
The Lucky Charms bit, I'm sure you get quoted a lot. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that's me, sort of improvising and playing and having fun with it. And, because you never know what's going to end up on the cutting room floor. So that was, it was good that they kept that.
You have a favorite line that Frau says?
No, I mean, I have favorite lines that other people want me to say, but I don't have anything particular. Well, that's not true. I do like, it's late.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Mine is, remember when they froze your semen?
Yes. I love, everybody has something different. I love it.
Yeah. That got a huge laugh in the theater, I remember.
Yes.
I love when Frau has sex with Dr. Evil, the Let's Get It On sequence.
I know, isn't that wild?
Yeah, everyone was howling in the theater, I remember, especially later during the awkwardness getting coffee.
Oh, yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I had such a hard time doing that with him on the bed because I'd always laugh.
Yeah. Try the Hot Pockets. They're spectacular.
Yeah.
Couple weeks ago, I interviewed Roseanne Sorrentino, who played Pepper in the 1982 version of Annie, and she told me one of the greatest compliments her and the cast ever got was Dr. Evil doing that rap version of It's a Hard Knock Life.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was, I thought, brilliant.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it was great.
I wasn't even expecting Dr. Evil to go to jail in that one.
Oh, God. Funny.
Then you got to be in the Jim Carrey adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes, that was very, very, very exciting. That was really magical. I mean, the sets, the costumes, the makeup were just so imaginable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, God, how was Jim Carrey to work with?
He was very, he wasn't really open to playing a lot on the set. He really, he had a lot to work with. He had a lot of prosthetics and eye stuff, contacts. And so when he was on the set, he pretty much, really, it was work. So I didn't really get to know him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he took the role very seriously.
Yeah.
I was watching one of the interviews Rick Baker did when his book came out, and he said that Universal, they wanted him to just put green makeup on Jim Carrey's face just so the audience could see that it's him. And he said, it's called How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not How Jim Carrey Stole Christmas,
Right, that's true.
Yeah, and that was a battle that he won, and I thank God because he's just so transcendent in that performance. It's one of his best, I think.
Yeah, he was very good in that.
And Ron Howard directed. God, he made it look like a Tim Burton movie. It was so dark,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, was Ron Howard great?
Oh, God, such a doll.
Yeah.
Such a doll, and he surrounds himself with amazing people and creative people, and everybody is really lovely. That was an honor to be a part of that and to work with him.
Did anyone call him Opie?
I don't think so.
I heard he gets really mad when people call him Opie.
Well, yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, especially at this point in his career, Academy Award winner.
Yes, and an older man. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you don't want to live that all the way through the rest of your life.
Yeah. I see you did an episode of the revival of Elvira's movie Macabre.
Oh, yeah, I was just a guest with her and another woman. That was fun. That was sweet.
Yeah, every time Cassandra's at Monsterpalooza, I always miss her because her line is all the way out the door around the block.
Oh, God, yeah, she's huge at these cons. I mean, she definitely has a major following.
Yeah, and I've heard, from like Terry and everybody, she is just so sweet.
Yes, very sweet, that lady.
Yeah, she's never let success go to her head.
Exactly.
You had a recurring role on Desperate Housewives.
Yes, I did. That was really very fun for me. I played Mitzi, and she was a neighbor that people didn't like. She was just kind of gruff and, not a very nice person. So I popped up every now and then for whatever use they had of me, which was great.
Yeah. How was the rest of the girls on the show?
They were great. The cast was really, really very nice. The men were amazing. The men were a little bit more social than the women.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they were all great. I think that Terry Hatcher was the only one that was a little bit more distant from the other women, but she was very nice to me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That show, I mean, it became a huge hit right out of the gate, and just, they were everywhere for like 3 or 4 years after that. And now it's like very few people remember this show now, and it's only been off the air for like 9 years.
Right, I know, it's funny.
It's scary. I hope maybe someday they'll do like a reboot or something, and people will remember it.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the reboots are good, sometimes they're not.
That is true. Do you miss not doing Con Man?
Oh, gosh, yes, I loved that. I loved working with Alan. It was one of my favorite jobs. He was such a delight, and I loved my character so much. So all the people that I worked with were wonderful and made shooting it a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the idea of a show or a movie that touches on the convention scene because, not very many people are talking about it, and I'm immersed in it now. I see and I hear a lot of craziness and a lot of somewhat shady stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah, I mean, that was just, I thought, a brilliant idea for a show.
Yeah, I just don't think that it was, really given the right shot, and it really wasn't, the marketing wasn't, strong enough, and it is a shame.
Yeah, and also, too, the show was honest, and they probably don't like that.
Yeah, it's just people didn't know where it was. It was always like hard to find.
Yeah, it's for very specific people too.
Yeah.
The fanboys and the nerds.
Right, exactly.
Which is what I am. You've done a lot of voiceover work. Do you enjoy doing that as much as acting and doing improv?
I really do enjoy doing it. I think that it's so much fun, and it's so interesting to bring a character to life with just your voice. And I've been, lucky to get some really good stuff, and I love doing it. You don't have to memorize anything. You don't have to look a certain way. So it is another way to, act and, bring life to characters that people really enjoy watching.
Yeah, I had this joke in my stand-up act. I don't think you're ever going to hear about a voiceover actor having a hashtag #MeToo experience because they go to the studio naked.
Right, just about.
Yeah. And I see, too, you're a survivor of breast cancer.
Yes.
That's so amazing.
90, I think it was 97 it started.
Yeah, that is so amazing. So you were diagnosed that year?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in 98, so went from one breast to another, and got very involved in raising money, and now I'm very much involved in the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, where I raise money every year to help blood cancers, which really help all cancers.
Oh, that is just wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Yeah, cancer runs on my dad's side of the family, and thank God he and my uncles and a bunch of them haven't gotten it. It's just a terrible disease.
It's in everybody's family. It's somewhere. So you don't know what's going to happen, and certainly there's the medical companies and just medicine in general are really coming to the forefront of not making it a death sentence, and always getting checked early, and all that stuff that makes sense.
Yeah. Diabetes runs on my mom's side of the family. And I had my physical back in November, and I found out my blood sugar was high, and I had to start losing weight, otherwise I'll be pre-diabetic. And so I've lost probably about 7-8 pounds so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been just keeping astray. I haven't been craving sugar or nothing. I've been exercising a lot and going to physical therapy.
Good. Yeah, you got to take care of your body. It's the only one you got.
Yeah, it's the only one, and thank God it's reversal in the early stages.
Yep, that's true.
My mom had it, and she had to get a gastric bypass.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, she's healthier now and stuff, but she has days where she vomits a lot because of it. It's not a good thing to have.
Right. Absolutely.
So, Mindy, there's this game that I like to play with my guests, and it's like the questionnaire that James Lipton does on Inside the Actor Studio.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's the polar opposite of that. It's silly slumber party questions.
Okay.
And how this works is I ask you the question, you answer it, and then you ask me the question, the same one, and I answer it.
Okay.
Okay. Mindy, are you ticklish?
Yes, my feet. Are you ticklish?
I am baby ticklish.
Okay.
Yes. Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
It's an innie. How about your belly button?
I have a deep innie.
Okay, good.
And there's never cat hair in it.
Well, okay, that's nice to hear.
Yeah. What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, nothing. There's no paint on them. And yours?
Same. Last time they were purple with sparkles.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yes. And then my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
A stinky smell that makes me gag. I don't know. I don't like BO. I don't like body odor.
Yeah.
So that's if I smell that on somebody, that it is such a turn off. Yeah. It's pretty bad for me. How about you?
Either farts or feet. Same thing almost. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the most popular one I get on this show is vomit more than anything.
Yeah, but you're not around. I mean, I'm around BO more than I am around vomit.
Really? Especially if you got animals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it doesn't smell. Their vomit doesn't smell.
Oh.
That's all right.
Do you have any upcoming projects or convention appearances you want to plug?
I am going to be, let's see, I'm going to be in Nevada in June. There's something. What is it?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Campbell Comic-Con?
Yes.
Yes.
I will be there. And I'm recurring on the Goldberg, so I'm working next week. And what else? I'm just doing little things, doing theater. I do, I did a pilot presentation for somebody. So it's just a lot of different things. You don't know where they're going to go or, when they're going to air, that kind of thing. But I do always keep busy, and so, yeah.
Yeah, that's great that you're going to be at Campbell Comic-Con. I know Dave and Marina, they're good people.
Okay, good.
Dave has been on the podcast. I would definitely go if it was still in Campbell, California, but it's all the way in Vegas, But
Right.
next time you're at a con somewhere in California, I'll be there.
Perfect. All right. Well, definitely come up and say hello.
Absolutely. Mindy, this was just an amazing honor. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, too. And
all right. Take care of yourself.
Yes, have fun with your animals.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Mindy Sterling. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Mindy. You are great. You are just a sweet lady and just an amazing inspiration, and I'm glad you overcame breast cancer and you're out there just making the entire world laugh. So thank you. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes. Send in the gods!